Here's something important. There's a reason behind your need for space, and when the shift happens, you'll understand just how necessary it's been. Being around too many people lately might be draining you more than usual, and most people aren't acknowledging it. Tomorrow the sun moves into Gemini. While many will say this means more socializing, more conversations, more excitement, it's actually the opposite for those who are tuned in. This shift isn't just a cosmic event, it's an energetic wave, and if you've been feeling overstimulated, irritable, or like your energy dips the moment you're around others, this is the cause. Gemini amplifies everything: thoughts, words, actions, focus. And if you're empathic or spiritually sensitive, it's like you're picking up on everyone's energy all at once. Imagine trying to hold your own note while 100 voices are singing over you. People respond to this shift in different ways. Some might feel energized by the buzz, but others, like you, are being gently pulled away, not because you're weak, but because your sensitivity is your strength. It's the universe signaling that it's time to protect your peace and realign with your own rhythm. If you've been craving silence, canceling plans, or feeling like the smallest conversation drains you, you're not antisocial. You're just energetically intelligent. If your body has been pulling you away from people without a logical reason lately, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious, who else has been feeling this invisible pressure? You can even drop 555 along with your comment to anchor the energy of change. And stay with me, because what's unfolding right now could leave your mind wide open, and you won't even realize what's been taken. Your clarity isn't getting lost, it's being absorbed. Every person you interact with leaves you with something or takes something from you. Gemini season sharpens mental connection. It opens invisible pathways between people. Thoughts move quicker, words cut deeper. But here's the twist. No one tells you your mind becomes more porous, and when you're around too many people, you don't just feel overwhelmed. You start thinking things that aren't yours. Have you noticed strange worries creeping in? Random thoughts that don't sound like your voice? Emotional static when you're alone? That's not random. In this window, people don't have to talk to affect you. Their presence alone can plant seeds, doubts, beliefs, emotional clutter. Gemini isn't just the sign of conversation, it's the sign of energetic transmission. You might be picking up other people's mental loops, fears, even their dreams, and the scariest part, it happens silently. You sense tension no one speaks about. You pick up vibes others laugh off. That's not anxiety, that's sensitivity. You're not imagining it. The air feels different right now. The energy in rooms has changed. People are louder or quieter, more agitated, more unpredictable, but somehow no one's talking about it. You might have walked into a room recently and felt that tight pressure in your chest, like something was off. Before anyone said a word, you knew something shifted. Your body picked it up instantly, but when you mention it, others shrug it off or joke that they can't feel what you're feeling. That doesn't make you wrong, it makes you tuned in. Gemini season is like static. It's a flood of mental signals all crossing over one another. Most people get swept up in the noise, not realizing their clarity is fading. But you notice the distortion. You hear the undertones in people's voices. You sense their stress, even when they smile. And that mismatch between what's happening underneath and what people are pretending on the surface is what makes this time so uncomfortable. The ones who feel the most chaos are often the ones doing the most spiritual filtering for others. Your system is trying to process energy that doesn't even belong to you. And the reason it feels so loud right now is because no one else is processing it. They're all offloading, and you're catching it in real time. And here's the wildest part. You don't even need to be around them physically. Their thoughts, their signals, their moods, they travel, especially now. So if you've been feeling off without any clear reason, you're not off. You're absorbing, detecting, responding. And that means you're closer than ever to hearing something most people are too distracted to even notice. The moment you step away from the crowd, the message comes in. This isn't about isolation, it's about alignment. Because tomorrow, when the sun officially moves into Gemini, a door opens. But it's a quiet door, and you'll only hear it if you're not caught up in everyone else's frequency. You're not supposed to be drowning in opinions right now. You're supposed to be receiving transmission. Gemini isn't just about talking, it's about hearing. But here's the catch. That clarity doesn't come from scrolling or chatting or staying in the loop. It comes the moment you disconnect from the noise. You'll notice it when you turn off your phone, when you walk away from that chaotic group chat, when you cancel that hangout you didn't feel aligned with in the first place. The most important guidance is often the one that whispers, not the one that screams. When you're alone, the mental fog lifts. The thoughts that aren't yours stop echoing, and then suddenly a download hits, a clear sentence, a sharp realization, an urge to create, move, pivot, or reach out to someone you haven't thought about in weeks. That's Gemini's true gift, but only when you let it speak to you directly. The sun is preparing to send you something, a code, a spark, a shift. But if you're tuned in to everyone else's station, you might miss the signal that was meant only for you. The next time you force a smile, your body might actually reject it. There's a point where pretending gets physical, and a lot of people are about to reach it fast. The kind of fatigue that doesn't just hit your energy, but your face. You smile when you don't mean it, and your whole system tenses. Your jaw tightens, your eyes glaze over, and inside something pulls back and says, "No more." Gemini energy encourages us to stay light, to stay witty, charming, upbeat. But if you've been feeling like you're slipping into performance mode every time you talk to someone, that's not a coincidence. The mask is getting heavier, and your body knows it. Some of you have already felt it this week. You go out, you interact, you even laugh, but something feels off. You're watching yourself from the outside, wondering why you feel drained after what seemed like a harmless chat. It's not the conversation that's tiring you. It's the disconnect between what you present and what you feel. Your body can only fake ease for so long before it rebels. It's no longer just emotional burnout. It's energetic resistance. You're not designed to keep mimicking ease when your nervous system is clearly saying, "This is too much." So, don't be surprised if tomorrow, or even tonight, you find yourself freezing mid-smile, pausing mid-sentence, feeling this deep refusal to keep up the mask. That's your alignment showing up, not your weakness. And here's the thing. It's okay to stop mid-scene. You don't owe anyone a polished moment. You don't have to end the conversation properly. The real conversation is happening inside you, and that voice is finally getting loud enough to interrupt the performance. You'll be fine 1 second, and then you'll want to vanish. You're sitting in a room feeling normal, maybe even enjoying yourself, and then it hits, a sudden sharp pull to get out. Not because someone upset you, not because anything went wrong, just something shifts, and your body starts whispering, "Leave." Now, if this happens over the next few days, you're not being antisocial or dramatic. You're experiencing what many energetically sensitive people feel during sharp air sign transitions like this one. Gemini energy moves fast, and when it turns, you feel it instantly. This isn't about flakiness or social awkwardness. This is a real spiritual exit cue, and it comes without warning. No logic, no explanation, just a deep knowing that your energy doesn't belong there anymore. You don't need a reason to leave, you just need to listen. People will try to talk you out of it. "You just got here," or "Come on, stay a little longer." But the truth is, leaving early might be the most aligned thing you do all day. Because if you override that internal pull, if you stay when your intuition says go, you're not just ignoring your needs, you're cutting off the message that was trying to reach you after you left. So, when it happens, and it will, don't second-guess it. Don't sit there trying to analyze why. Stand up, exit, cancel, shift. That urge is your energy moving ahead of you, clearing the path before your mind catches up. You'll become the quiet one in the room who sees everything, and others will feel it. Something strange begins to happen as the sun shifts into Gemini. While the energy in the air pushes everyone to talk faster, louder, and more often, you'll start to feel the opposite, a kind of mental and spiritual retreat. You'll still be there, still present, still watching, but you won't feel the need to speak like you used to. And at first, that might feel a little alien, even to you. Gemini energy isn't just about communication, it's about perception, sharp, quick, wide-open perception. And that perception doesn't always make you louder. Sometimes it makes you silent. You'll sit at the table, scroll through the group chat, walk through the room, and instead of jumping in, something inside you pauses. You're not zoning out, you're tuning in. You'll notice the tone shifts. People don't acknowledge the way. Someone's words don't match their eyes. The story someone is telling, that's really about something else entirely. And what's wild is people will feel that. They'll feel your awareness, even if you don't say a word. Suddenly, you're the one in the room that others glance at when they're talking, wondering what you're thinking, questioning why you're so quiet. That silence, it unsettles them because it's real, and they know it. Some people talk to be heard, but some of us stay quiet so we can truly listen. The observer role you're stepping into isn't passive. It's powerful, because while others are casting words like spells, you're breaking them apart in your mind. You're tracking the real meanings, the layers, the truths hidden under the surface. Don't let anyone guilt you into joining in. If your body says no, there's nothing wrong with being quiet right now. There's nothing wrong with taking a step back and seeing the whole picture instead of getting swept into it. In fact, that might be the most important role of all. When you pull back like this, it's not withdrawal, it's vision. And most people aren't used to being seen that clearly, but that's their discomfort to process, not yours to fix. So when you find yourself feeling less talkative, less eager to perform, less drawn to fill the space, trust that that's not you disappearing. That's you watching the room with spiritual clarity. And what you see might change everything. Choosing to step back right now isn't weakness, it's precision. Let's clear something up right now. Choosing solitude, silence, or even space from people in this moment isn't you giving up. It's not fear, it's not avoidance, it's not social anxiety dressed up as spirituality. This is you tuning in to a frequency of truth that most people are still too distracted to hear. Because when energy moves fast like it does under Gemini, it creates noise. And when you're energetically attuned, that noise doesn't just irritate you, it overwhelms you. And when you walk away from it, you're not doing it because you're too sensitive. You're doing it because you're sharp enough to know when to shut the signal off. There's a massive difference between avoiding life and protecting your peace. And yes, people might not get it. They might think you're pulling away because something's wrong, that you're in a mood, that you're isolating. But the truth is, what you're doing is so much more intelligent than that. You're choosing discernment over distraction. You're choosing to be with yourself so you can actually hear yourself think. You're choosing not to be pulled in 10 different energetic directions by people who don't even know what they're carrying. You're choosing stillness, not because you're scared of movement, but because you know that not all motion is meaningful. That's not retreat, that's precision, that's wisdom. So if, over the next few days, you find yourself needing space, take it, without the guilt, without the justification, without trying to make anyone else understand. You don't need to explain what your body and spirit already know. This isn't folding to fear. This is choosing your timeline over the collective noise. The body never lies, it just speaks. When you refuse to listen, you can try to push through it. Tell yourself it's all in your head, say you're just tired, overthinking, being too sensitive. But this Gemini shift is not only energetic, it's physiological. It goes straight to the body, straight to your nerves, straight to the systems that are most responsive when something's off. Gemini rules the nervous system, the lungs, the arms, the hands. It's the sign of fast transmission of signals, messages, information. But when there's too much energy flying around, too much mental chaos, too much background noise, the system overloads. And if you've been ignoring the subtle signs, your body might start turning up the volume in ways you can't tune out. Tension in the chest with no clear cause, a weird tightness in your arms or hands, like you've been bracing for something that never came. That restless electric buzz under the skin, like you're wired but exhausted at the same time. Racing thoughts that seem to come out of nowhere. Difficulty sleeping, not because you're thinking too much, but because the air itself feels too loud. This isn't just stress. This is energetic exposure. It's what happens when you stay plugged into people, conversations, timelines, and digital spaces that don't match your frequency but still demand your attention. You're not anxious, you're overstimulated by energy that was never yours to carry. And the worst part, most people will tell you to shake it off, to just breathe, or even worse, push through it. But that's the exact opposite of what your body is begging for right now. Gemini teaches us movement, yes, but also discernment, what to tune into and what to pull away from. And if your body starts sending you signals, physical, emotional, or otherwise, it's not weakness, it's not dysfunction, it's direction. When your hands start trembling after a long day around people, when your chest tightens in a conversation that looks fine on the surface, when you can't stop scrolling but feel more fragmented with every swipe, that's not you being broken. That's your system screaming, "This is too much." So if that moment comes, and for many it will, don't ignore it. Don't guilt yourself into staying in the noise just because it's what you've always done. That tension is not random, it's not dramatic. It's the message before the burnout. Step back, withdraw, not to escape, but to regulate, not to isolate, but to realign. The body is not against you, it's on your side, trying to keep you safe, even when your mind hasn't caught up yet. You're not meant to blend in right now, you're meant to recalibrate. While the world rushes into noise, connection, stimulation, and distraction, something different is pulling at you. Not out of fear, not because you're behind, but because you're being guided inward. And that's not weakness, that's alignment. This Gemini energy, it's not just about talking, sharing, mingling. It's a mental sharpening, a strategic reset. And if your spirit is nudging you to unplug, step back, or pull your energy inward, trust that you're not falling behind. You're tuning back in, and from that space, things finally start to click again. While others are chasing validation, you're being called to refine vision. You're not here to perform. You're not here to keep up with everyone else's chaos. You're here to remember your own frequency, to get quiet enough to hear your own thoughts without someone else's volume layered on top. This isn't about becoming a hermit forever. It's about giving yourself the space to reboot. Because that clarity you've been craving, that direction you've been missing, that breakthrough you feel is right on the edge. It doesn't come when you're trying to match the speed of a distracted world. It comes when you pause, when you realign, when you give yourself enough space to receive. Distance isn't disconnection. It's the doorway to deeper vision. And maybe, just maybe, that uncomfortable feeling of not wanting to be around anyone right now, that's not a flaw, that's not a phase. That's the moment your soul reclaims sovereignty, because the next chapter isn't written in noise, it's built in silence. So, if you've been feeling the pull to step back and reflect, trust it. Not everyone hears that inner call, but for those who do, it means something is shifting. You're being prepared. Something is on the horizon, and when it arrives, you'll be ready. If you're still here, thank you for watching. If you found this meaningful and want more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It really helps. And I'd love to hear your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. Until next time, take care and stay tuned for more thoughtful content.